Kampala street vendors have 2 days to transfer to established market spaces or face forceful eviction on Wednesday 19th February 2026 as Kampala Capital City Authority moves to restore trade order. During the last eviction, KCCA secured 2,320 free stores in 7 city markets to include 1,000 stores in Wasafi and 500 in Buzeki market, but vendors still ignored the offer. The authority's executive director, Sharifah Buzeki, says they have tried to address some of the push factors in these public markets and that they have already secured funds to modernize these workspaces in the long run.
There were some challenges. You remember by the time they started, that area was almost, the biggest part of it was a construction site. That particular construction limited accessibility to the market. The other one are the other precursors to having people come to the market. And what we have in mind is to operationalize Wasafi Park.
In the new arrangement, KCCA has secured 1,980 more market spaces outside Kampala City, in Entebbe, Mukono and Impending municipalities, adding to the 2,520 available market spaces in the city centre. Buzeki says they also plan to create more 10,000 workspaces in the next 2 years.
The spaces we have may not accommodate all of the people we have in Kampala. But in any modern society, or where you have regulation, even Kampala alone, if all Ugandans decided that we don't want to stay in our villages, we want to come to Kampala. As a nation, even if you are a private proprietor, you would want to limit how many people stay in a particular place.
If young people can't find work, they will try to start these informal businesses. But to criminalize them, one, we don't provide workspaces. One, we make sure that the licensing regime is unsupportive. If you look at typical license in Kampala, 450,000. Very few informal businesses can afford that. If you look at the rent prices, very high. So it means most people who are starting off will end up in hawking, the boda business and this kind of thing. And then how do the authorities react? By even being more tough on them.
Application for a stall is made through the Market Allocation Committee, and for a street vendor to attain a stall in a structured public market, they need an LC letter, vendor registration with KCCA or the market management, verification of the trade category, and proof of former street vending activity. The authority says it is still reviewing provisions for special Sunday and evening public markets, along with streamlining the work of individual marketeers who stand on streets to direct customers to particular stores in arcades.
This has to be a concerted effort. We are doing it for the good of the seller, the buyer, and our city.
Citing a tragic incident when a truck crashed an elderly vendor on the street, leaving her disabled, Buzeki appealed to stakeholders to embrace the new guidelines as order in the city benefits all. Under the Kampala Capital City Act of 2010, the Trade Licensing Act and the Local Government Maintenance of Law and Order Ordinance of 2006, traders are required to operate within designated areas and to hold valid licenses. The authority is urging vendors operating in ungazetted spaces to relocate voluntarily before February 19th, 2026, when the authority, alongside sister security agencies, will ensure forceful compliance.
This is going to be a concerted effort between KCCA, police, and other organs which will deem necessary to be part of this operation. What is common in all of us is that all of them enforce law and order.
KCCA chiefs say they are still engaging stakeholders in the mobility sector to include boda riders, special hire car drivers, and commuter taxis to streamline this business as well. Juliet Nalwoga, NTV.